Welcome back to my channel. I'm doing another palette bingo, and I'm also using the Arrow inspired palette again from Adept Cosmetics. It's kind of funny because the day that my other video went up on YouTube, I got an Instagram chat from Dub's Beauty Diary asking if I wanted to do a collab with a bunch of other creators on Instagram doing a palette bingo using the Arrow inspired palette. So of course I said yes. It sounded like so much fun. I had fun doing the other palette bingo, and that was combining two palettes together. So I thought it would be fun to try doing it with just one palette. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to do a palette bingo using the Arrow inspired palette by Adept, which looks like this. And we're choosing to use 5 shades, which kind of seems like a lot. I mean, I guess I used 6 in the palette bingo I did the other day, but generally when I'm going into an eyeshadow palette, for some reason using 5 shades seems like a lot to me, but I don't know. I think it'll be fun. It'll be interesting. And just like the last time, we're kind of playing a gamble with there only being one row of mattes down at the bottom. But that's what happens when you do palette bingo. You are taking a gamble. So as I said before, this is a collaboration with a bunch of lovely creators on Instagram. A couple of them also have YouTube channels, but I will leave everyone linked in the description below, and also their YouTube channel if they have it. All right, so I've kept my base pretty simple just because I didn't know how the look was going to turn out, but I'll leave everything that's currently on my face in the description down below. And then at the end, if I choose to add anything else to tie it all together, I will also leave that in the description. All right, so I actually found a number generator that will generate all 5 numbers at the same time. So I'm just gonna do that one instead of doing 5 separate ones. It just seems easier. I'm just gonna hit calculate. All right, so the numbers that I got are 9, 10, 14, 5, and 4. So let's find out what those are. Number 9 is Warren Patel, which I really like this shade. I mean, I really like all of the shades. Hopefully you can see that. It's kind of a lighter base, but it shifts sort of purpley blue and like a beige. So I like that. And number 10 is Edward Rasmus, which is that really deep teal. And then 14 is Cyrus Vanch, which is that really like murky, pukey green. Number 5 is Adam Hunt. And last one, number 4 is Leo Mueller. All right, not quite sure how I'm gonna fit these together, but I will do my best. So I'm gonna think about a little bit what I'm going to do. I'll move the camera in a little bit closer, then we'll get started. Here's the swatches just a little bit more close up. Trying to get all the shiftiness of them. Although I suppose the Adam Grant shade doesn't really have much of a shift, I don't think. I think it's just sparkly. All right, so here's what I kind of have planned. I'm gonna do the murkiness with this multi-chrome on the upper lid, and then I'm gonna do the teal with the blue on the lower lash line, and then I'll probably just put this one like all over, use it as like a brow and an inner corner highlight probably, but I think that's what I have planned. I'm not entirely sure, like the pinky shift of this, I don't know. I feel like the pink in this is kind of throwing it off a little bit, but hopefully I can get it all tied together in the end. Let's get started. All right, the eye primer that I'm going to use is the Aboutface. Some of the Adept shades in general, like depending on how creamy it is, they are probably going to crease on me anyways, just because that's how my eyelids tend to be. So I don't really have a specific primer that like stops that altogether, at least when I'm using the Adept shades. I'm going to use a Wayne Goss number 4 brush to pick up the Cyrus Vance shade and sort of work it all over. All right, so have any of you watched Arrow? Or I guess I should ask, do you know of Arrow because of the TV show or because of comic books? So I only really know it from the TV show that was on the CW. It started, I believe, when I was in college. I'd have to check back on the years, but I graduated college 2012. So if it started before then I was watching it in college. But I watched it like as it came out, and I watched it all the way to the end. And all of the like spin-off shows from that became part of the Arrowverse or whatever, I did watch, but most of them I kind of dropped off on. So like The Flash, I never really finished it. I can't remember what season, maybe like 2 or 3 seasons before the end of it. And then Supergirl, I also didn't finish watching the whole thing. Superman and Lois, I didn't even ever start. But Arrow, I started with it and I finished with it. So when this show started, it was very much the world of like primetime TV. So watching a show with 21, 22, 23 episodes per season was the norm. And then throughout the course of the show being on the air, more and more, and what I started watching were TV shows that only had like 10, 11, 12 episodes. So then like I kind of just got burnt out on watching TV shows that had more than that many episodes. So I've kind of thought about going back and rewatching it, but that's so many episodes of TV. I don't know, like there's so many other things on my to be watched list that to go back and rewatch a show that has like 22 episodes a season, that's just a lot. Anywho's, okay, so I'm gonna go in with that Leo Mueller shade and just put it all over the lid. I'm trying to think if there were any other spin-offs from the Arrowverse. There was that show Black Lightning, and I watched I think some of the first season of that, but I didn't ever finish it. And I think there was like a crossover maybe where the main character from that was in Arrow. Oh, Legends of Tomorrow. Yeah, I also started and watched most of that, but then didn't watch the last couple seasons. It got very like campy, like making fun of itself, which I actually kind of like that in the show. But towards the end, some of it was just like kind of hard to watch. I don't know. But that one was one where I think towards the end of it, based on like viewership or whatever, they only were doing like 10 or 12 episode seasons. So maybe I could go back and finish that, but I don't know. All right, so there's the upper lid so far. Hopefully you can tell. Maybe I'll turn the brightness down. Does that help? It's very like, sometimes the sun is out and sometimes it's hiding behind a cloud. So the sun's kind of going in and out. So hopefully that's not too distracting, but there's the upper lid so far. All right, moving on to the lower lash line. Trying to decide what brush to use. Okay, I'm gonna start with the Blend Bunny B2 brush and go in with the Edward Rasmus shade. And I feel like this is quite pigmented, so this could get kind of crazy kind of fast, so fingers crossed. with a clean Wayne Goss 05 brush. I'm just gonna blend that. Okay, I wiped the Blend Bunny brush off and I'm gonna go in with the Adam Hunt shade to just sort of put this on top of that. I might keep it mostly towards the inner part of the eye and not go too much onto the outer corner. Okay, just kidding, I'm gonna take it all the way. Okay, I'm trying to decide if I want to take any of the Cyrus Vanch and bring it on the lower lash line just to sort of like tie it together. This could end up being a horrible mistake. We will see. Alright, I actually kind of like that. It made it a little bit more like foresty green. I'm gonna go back in with the Adam Hunt shade and add a little bit more at the inner part of my eye. And actually like up into the inner corner. Alright, and then on the same brush, I'm now going in with the Warren Patel shade and putting this in the inner corner. That got pretty blue. Alright, now I'm going to use the Warren Patel shade and put it on like my brow bone area. Okay, and then just to kind of tone down the pink on the lid, I'm going to add a little bit of the Warren Patel shade and hope that this doesn't make it terrible. Okay, I can't tell if that's muddy bad or muddy good. Maybe muddy good, hard to say. Okay, it's sort of like mucky, murky, swampy, but also bright with the lower lash line being that like sort of brighter green. I don't know. I think once I get mascara on, and I'm gonna try to put lashes on, we'll see how that goes. Whether or not I come back with them, will tell you how that went for me. So I'm going to find an eyeliner to put in the waterline. I'll put lashes or mascara on, and then I'm kind of feeling like I need some more blush, maybe. So once I do all of that, I will come back and show you the finished look. All right, so this is the finished look. In the waterline, I used some of the Sephora Ultimate Gel Eyeliner in the shade Fuchsia Shimmer, just to sort of help pull some more pink out since that was what was going on the lid. And then also to throw some pink in, I used some of the Givenchy Prism Libre brush in the shade 1, which is basically just like the all pink shade. On the lips, I use the Blend Bunny matte lip cream in the shade Moody. This is a pretty neutral lip color for me. It generally doesn't conflict too much with what else I have going on, so that's why I chose this one. Also, it's pretty neutral but leaning on the grungier side, so I figured that would also sort of help tie everything together. So like I said before, this is a collab, so everyone who participated in this, I will leave their Instagram linked below and also their YouTube if they have one. I will also have a post on Instagram going up with this look, and then it also will have the flat lay of all the other makeup that I put on my face. So those will be listed down in the description, but if you want to see it on Instagram too, my Instagram will also be linked. And just go show everyone else your love on their posts. This has been a really fun experience. I hadn't followed anyone prior to being in this collab thing, and it's just been really fun going to everyone's profiles and seeing everyone's different creative styles and pulling some inspiration for some looks myself. So definitely go check them out. And if you're new to my channel, then thank you for being here and for watching. And if you like this kind of stuff, then subscribe before you go. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.